briefing the media?
So with that in mind, the Rule 3 is designed to ensure that when witnesses or when persons are implicated before the Commission, they have an opportunity to respond, either in writing or in testimony before the Commission under oath, both of those under oath, obviously. So to come now to your question regarding Advocate Johnson, she appeared before the Commission for 6 days running, and notwithstanding that, there are further allegations that have been made against Advocate Johnson, now the former head of IDAC, after she had testified, and you have witnessed that. So she will be served with a further Rule 3 notice to inform her that she has been implicated, and then she may or may not be called to come and testify. But the Rule 3 provides for either written responses or testimony. And of course, ultimately, it is the chairperson, Justice Madlanga, who decides on whether individuals are going to be called to testify.
Apologies, Jeremy. Our viewers at SABC are just joining now. We just had a bit of technical difficulties there. I'd just like a repeat of the Fediel Adams scheduled appearance that is coming up for September. And then in light of Ramsami's latest testimony, have there been any security concerns surrounding this particular witness following that explosive testimony? Has that been communicated, and is the MADLANGA Commission taking care of that?
Okay, so firstly, Kenny, on the matter of Mr. Adams, I was saying earlier that Mr. Fediel Adams, I should clarify that we've had quite a number of queries in this regard, particularly because he had taken to social media and spoken at some length about, the proceedings at the Commission. So in light of that, we had received quite a number of queries, and we can now confirm that Mr. Adams, we first served him with a Rule 3 notice in October 2025, last year, and we have now confirmed that he will appear under subpoena before the Commission on the 11th of July. That's 2 Tuesdays from sorry, excuse me, the 11th of August, 2026.
Jeremy Pule again from...
Apologies, we didn't get to the last question about Ms. Ramsami, the second question. Apologies for that, yeah.
So regarding Ms. Ramsami and any other witness, of course, as you know, we don't discuss the details of security arrangements, but where necessary, and obviously it is informed by a proper threat and risk analysis, the Commission or the employers of those individuals, whichever way we decide, does provide the necessary security for individuals.
Yeah, Puleli Chiti Jones from ENCA. The witness who just appeared asked for the Commission to investigate into his matter, given the fact that he intends to open a case against some IDAC investigators who, as he alleges, were on a witch hunt or ploy to plot against him. Is that something that, or a service that the Commission would offer? And two, it's clear that at some point one of the, or rather let me say the former IDAC boss, Andrea Johnson, misled the Commissioner testimony. What is the penalty thereof in terms of having lied under oath here?
So on the matter of the witness who was just stood down, I wouldn't really want to comment on that because it has just arisen, and the evidence leaders and the commissioners will have to deal with that issue, so we can revisit that issue in days to come next week. Your second question again?
In relation to lying under oath.
Yes. Thanks. So, again, I wouldn't want to be specific about an individual. In general, both the Commissions Act of 1947, the regulations and the rules of the Commission make it an offense to lie under oath or mislead or impede the work of the Commission. There are fines, there are options of either a fine or imprisonment in that regard, and that obviously has to be determined by a court of law. All right.
All right, sounds good. There you have it from the Commission spokesperson, that is Jeremy Michaels, who is confirming that on the 11th of August, Fediel Adams will appear before the MADLANGA Commission as per the subpoena that has been issued out to him. And he has a number of questions to answer to with respect to the Section 27 referral affidavit, where he got these allegations, how he got these allegations, and how he sat on these confidential documents for quite some months before he started opening cases across the country, and then, of course, turned to IDAC, which is becoming a bit of a controversy here because it seems that the Section 27 referral affidavit that Ms. Ramsamy and now Mr. Rapesu have seen is not the one that was flighted before the Commission, and it raises questions and as to whether or not the one flighted before the Commission, which was quite scant and failed to reach the pass mark test, if we can put it that way. And we saw Pariachi and Johnson also struggle to marry that referral affidavit with the Section 2813 authorization. One wonders whether or not that is the same affidavit that was placed before the court. And that means that if indeed that was the case, then essentially IDAC was allegedly taking cases to court on allegedly manufactured documents. We have seen Mr. Rapesu confirm in the main majority of the allegations stated by Ramsamy in the handling of what would become the Mukwele matter, in which we see was based off of that Section 27 referral affidavit. He states that when he got the first sight of that particular Section 27 referral affidavit, what featured prominently there is the political killings task team, and we know that the one that features before the MADLANGA Commission doesn't make any mention of the PKTT, and it raises questions as to whether or not it is true that these particular individuals that provided the Commission with those documents were allegedly trying to hoodwink the Commission, or is this what was placed before the courts as well as the MADLANGA Commission in light of the allegations that IDAC was allegedly manufacturing cases with a specific target, that is certain generals such as Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo and General Fani Masemola. We expect that Ramsamy will return on Tuesday to continue with her evidence, but in the main we do see that Rapesu has come and confirmed that the testimony shared by Johnson before the ad hoc committee was false. That's how he puts it before the Commission, and that confirms what Ramsamy has stated. He also highlights the flaws in the processes, which shifts the responsibility from them back to Johnson and Peramo, who seem to be the driving force behind this particular allegation or investigation under Project Diversion. He also confirms before the Commission that Project Diversion did indeed exist, and that there were a number of processes that were allegedly flouted in order to ensure that this particular matter goes forward. He then confirms the issue of Lushaba, which is the subpoenas into the bank accounts, and he states before the Commission under oath that he was very uncomfortable with going forward with the request when there was nothing in Fediel Adams' statement that confirmed whether or not there was the movement of funds in Lushaba's bank account. So it was something that was unlawful, according to Rapesu, and then he lists the consequences that would later follow, which is that he would face this never-ending investigation based off of allegations that he allegedly gave Nkabinde, that is Cedric Nkabinde, the chief of staff of Mkhunu at the time, information that IDAC was allegedly investigating him, and it's against that backdrop that he was charged, and subsequently he also finds himself outside of those cases that have raised much controversy before the MADLANGA Commission, not only for IDAC officials that have since been suspended, but of course for the former IDAC head. It's become become more clear now that that Rule 3 notice that has since been issued to Advocate Andrea Johnson may result, it's possible that she would have to come back before the Commission to explain some of these allegations, because what these two witnesses are stating, they're confirming in the main that the defense, or rather the evidence given by Andrea Johnson, is actually in contradiction to what would have taken place. So either one is true and one is a lie, and it's about the MADLANGA Commission testing whether or not Advocate Andrea Johnson was truthful when she sought to distance herself from the alleged unlawful conduct within IDAC and its handling of crime intelligence cases, as you now have members of the team directly coming forward to state that this was all allegedly deliberate, rather, in order to get a target that is those high-ranking generals within crime intelligence and the South African police services, and something which is believed or suspected to be part of a larger alleged sinister motive. We expect that IDAC evidence will continue next week, and it's far from over, as we're set to hear from Ramsamy, and there are other key role players that will have to come to the Commission and explain what really these investigations were about, because at the very least what you see is that Section 27 referral affidavit was used to springboard IDAC into investigations, or whole investigations, that had nothing to do with their mandate and seemingly were geared to an alleged sinister motive.